when it comes to Eucharistic adoration, spending time with Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, and for some people they get a taste for that and they spend hours in front of the Blessed Sacrament. For some people, though, it could seem like a waste of time. Why aren't you doing something active? Why aren't you doing something productive, with your time? If you want to spread the gospel, if you want to do, live the Beatitudes or the works of mercy, isn't that more productive than, sitting in chapel before the Blessed Sacrament quietly, not hearing anything? So it is a question that's in the minds of a lot of people. On the other hand, there are those who are like Mary Magdalene, is content to sit before the Lord and listen to him. And that's what fills her heart to become then an apostle and go. That's what makes her fearless. Absolutely fearless. I mean, everyone else ran away. She stood next to the Blessed Mother at the cross of Jesus with people jeering and making fun. I mean, all the apostles ran, yet she stayed. That woman was fearless. Why? I think it's because she spent time filling herself with whatever Jesus said. Just being in his presence was enough. And she was also, when she anointed the feet of Jesus, and I always was impressed with the difference in the reaction between Judas and Mary Magdalene. They both were in the presence of Jesus, but Judas was calculating. Judas was asking, why this waste? Mary instead took that jar of perfume and didn't just pour it out a little bit at a time. She broke the jar of perfume and wasted, according to Judas, and probably many of the other apostles as well, wasted that jar of ointment, that jar of costly perfume. And in this book, which is really worth reading, it has a paragraph and it says, thanks to the greed and outrage of Judas, we do know that the ointment or perfumed oil that Mary used here was extraordinarily valuable. It was worth a year's salary. Today, we would be talking about thousands and thousands of dollars worth of the rarest and most precious perfume in the world spilled out in an instant. And that in a nutshell, that's just like a perfect snapshot of what Eucharistic adoration is. It is breaking that jar of costly perfume of whatever it is in our life that we find really valuable and costly. For many, our time, and just breaking it there in front of Jesus and wasting it on him. Why? Because he is so worthy of the best of us being wasted at his feet. But the thing is, whatever we do, he can't be outdone then in love or generosity, and he refills like 100-fold. Whatever it is we waste in front of him for love of him, he puts it back. And that's what happens when, you can't help but take that and run with it. And you're so, you're so filled to the brim that it has to go someplace. It has to overflow. And that, I think, is what evangelization is. And that's why she is, a model for evangelization and a model for apostles, and just a model of what it means to be in love with the Lord, and just a model of Eucharistic love that we can look at and say, I might be only able to spend, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but we used to say in novitiate when we first entered, if you give Jesus a finger, the next time he will take your hand, and the next time your arm, and after that he embraces you. So you start by giving him a little, and then you just increase it, because you realize that that's where your joy is, that's where your love is, it is to be right in front of him, is to be with him. And an apostle is somebody who was with the Lord and can't help but share that love with other people. So again, I don't know. She's my favorite saint, and I think if you read this book, she'll be yours too.